Welcome to the Stoic Tide. Let me ask you something straight from the heart. Have you ever looked at a woman and thought, if only I knew how to make her feel so drawn to me that she can't stop thinking about me? Not just attracted for a moment, not just curious for a while, but truly addicted where her mind, her emotions, and even her soul keep coming back to you again and again. Now, here's the truth. Most men chase, beg, and overcomplicate love. But Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor of Rome, lived by principles that can change the way you see relationships. He never played games, never manipulated, and yet his wisdom shows us how to build connections so deep that they naturally pull people closer. So imagine this. Instead of wondering what text should I send, how do I make her notice me? Sad, or what if she loses interest? Will you embody a presence so powerful that she feels magnetized to you? She's not addicted to your money, your status, or your appearance. She's addicted to your essence. And that essence is built on 5 timeless actions rooted in Stoicism and female psychology that Marcus Aurelius himself would stand behind. Before I reveal these 5 things, let me tell you why you need to stick around until the very end of this video. Because what you're about to hear is not some quick fix pickup artist trick. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about transforming your mindset and behavior in a way that not only makes her addicted to you, but also gives you peace, strength, and dignity. And by the way, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to Deep Stoic and like this video, because I promise you, the Stoic insights you'll find here can shift not just your love life, but your entire approach to living. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see relationships in a way you've never seen before. So are you ready to discover the 5 things Marcus Aurelius would tell you to do to make her addicted to you? Not through tricks, but through timeless wisdom? Good. Because once you master these, you'll never look at love, attraction, or connection the same way again. Point 1. Be the calm in her storm. Let me take you back to a moment in your own life. Think about the first time you really cared about someone, a woman who made your heart beat faster, whose voice felt like music, whose smile could change your whole day. Do you remember that? Now also remember the times when she wasn't smiling, when she was upset, stressed, or overwhelmed. How did you respond? Did you stay calm, or did you let her storm pull you into it? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." And this is where most men fail. They believe love is about fixing every problem, about controlling every situation, about constantly trying to do something. But in reality, women don't always need solutions. They need presence. Imagine her coming to you after a rough day, her words spilling out in frustration. Most men cut her off, argue, or say things like, "You're overreacting." But the man who captures her heart doesn't do that. He listens. He breathes slowly. He stays grounded while she unravels. And in that calmness, she feels safe. Tell me honestly, when you've been upset, have you ever had someone who just stayed calm and let you be? Didn't that make you trust them more? That's exactly how she feels when you embody Stoic calmness. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayals, and unimaginable stress. Yet he trained himself to remain steady. He knew the world's storms couldn't shake him unless he allowed them to. And if an emperor could hold that kind of composure, why can't you hold it for the woman you love? Women don't become addicted to chaos. They become addicted to the man who is her lighthouse in the middle of chaos. When she's crying, when she's angry, when she's doubting herself, you're the one who reminds her without even saying much that everything will be okay. So I'll ask you, in your love story, are you the storm or are you the calm? Because once you choose calmness, you stop being just another man in her life. You become the man she never wants to lose. Point 2. Speak less, mean more. Think about this for a second. Have you ever been with someone who talked endlessly, filling every silence with words, but you couldn't remember a single thing they said? Now compare that to someone who speaks rarely, but when they do, their words stay with you for days, maybe even years. Which one left a stronger mark on you? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop talking so much about who you are. Let your actions and your presence say it for you. In love, this matters more than you think. Many men believe they need to constantly impress a woman with jokes, stories, or promises. But often, the more you talk, the less impact your words carry. Women don't fall in love with noise. They fall in love with depth. And depth doesn't come from saying everything. It comes from meaning every word you choose to speak. Think about your own love memories. Was there a time when she told you something deeply personal? And instead of giving a long response, you just looked into her eyes and said one simple, honest thing.
Didn't that moment feel powerful?
Didn't it create a bond that silence itself was holding together? Marcus Aurelius lived in a palace surrounded by endless chatter, debates, and flattery. Yet in his meditations he taught himself the art of restraint. He understood that wisdom is not about flooding the world with words, but about aligning your words with truth. And that truth carries a weight women can feel. Female psychology is deeply attuned to tone, timing, and intention. When you pause before speaking, when you allow silence to live in the conversation, it makes her lean in. She starts craving your words not because you talk a lot, but because you talk with meaning. So ask yourself in your love story, are you the man who drowns her in noise? Or the man whose words she replays in her mind when she's alone? Because the man who speaks less but means more becomes unforgettable. And in her heart, unforgettable is addictive. Point 3. Live by purpose, not pleasure. Let me ask you this. Have you ever fallen for someone not because of how they looked, but because of the way they lived? Maybe it was the way she carried herself with passion, or how her eyes lit up when she talked about her dreams. Do you remember how magnetic that was? Now flip the mirror. Does your life have that same spark of purpose? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the ambitions he sets for himself." That line tells us something powerful. Your value doesn't come from what you own, how many people like your photos, or how much attention you get from women. Your value comes from the mission you live for. Here's the truth about female psychology. Women don't truly become addicted to men who chase pleasure every day, running after distractions, wasting time, or seeking validation. No, they become addicted to the man who is moving somewhere in life. The man who wakes up with intention, who has a goal, who is driven by something bigger than himself. Think back to your own love memories. Wasn't there a moment when she looked at you with admiration? Not for a gift you gave her, not for sweet words, but for something you achieved. Maybe it was when you overcame a challenge, when you stayed disciplined, when you pushed forward even when life tested you. That admiration is not surface level. It's the addiction women feel for men of purpose. Marcus Aurelius, even as the emperor of Rome, could have drowned in pleasures, wine, entertainment, luxury. But instead he chose to dedicate himself to service, duty, and the philosophy of Stoicism. His purpose gave him strength, and that same strength is what makes a man magnetic in love. So I'll ask you in your story right now, are you chasing pleasures that disappear by tomorrow? Or are you building something that will outlast you? Because when you choose purpose, she feels it. She sees it in your discipline, your actions, your energy, and that energy is irresistible. It makes her want to be part of your journey, not just your moments. The man who lives for pleasure is forgotten. But the man who lives for purpose, he's the one she can never let go. Point 4, respect her soul, not just her body. Let me ask you something from your own heart. Have you ever been with someone who only saw you for what you looked like and not for who you truly were? Did it feel shallow? Did it make you feel replaceable? Now imagine how many women feel this way every single day, desired for their body but not valued for their soul. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The beauty of the soul shines even brighter than that of the body." And this is where most men miss the mark. They chase physical beauty, compliments, and attraction, but they forget the deeper layer that makes love unforgettable. A woman doesn't become addicted to the man who only stares at her body. She becomes addicted to the man who sees her essence. Think about your own love memories. Wasn't there a time when you sat with her? No makeup, no fancy clothes, and she opened up about her fears, her dreams, her insecurities. Did you feel how the air shifted in that moment? That was her soul speaking, and the way you responded, whether you truly listened or just brushed it aside, decided how deep your bond would go. Most men never listen. They hear words, but they don't hear meaning. But when you look at her not as an object of desire, but as a partner in growth, something powerful happens. She feels safe, understood, and valued beyond appearances. And psychology tells us this. Women crave to be understood even more than to be desired. Marcus Aurelius respected the soul above all because he knew the body fades. Beauty changes, but the spirit, her inner world, is eternal. When you honor that, when you show her that her mind, her dreams, and her heart matter to you, you create a connection that time cannot break. So I'll ask you, in your love story, are you the man who only admires her looks? Or are you the one who sees her when no one else does? Because the moment she realizes you love her soul as much as her body, that's the moment she'll never want to let you go. Point 5, master yourself. Don't try to control her. Let me ask you, have you ever been in a relationship where you felt someone was trying to control you? Maybe they told you who to talk to, where to go, what to wear. Did it make you feel free or trapped? Now imagine how a woman feels when a man tries to own her instead of loving her. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. What does that mean for love? It means you cannot control her thoughts, her choices, or her actions. The only thing you truly control is yourself, your mind, your emotions, your behavior. And here's where most men go wrong out of fear, insecurity, or ego. They try to hold on tighter, thinking control will keep her close. But the truth is, control pushes her away. What actually makes her addicted is not your grip over her, but your grip over yourself. Think about your own love memories. Was there a time when she tested your patience, maybe even tried to provoke a reaction? Did you lose your temper? Or did you hold your ground with calm strength? Remember how powerful it felt when you chose discipline over anger? That's self-mastery, and that's what women can't resist. Marcus Aurelius, ruling over an empire, could not control the world around him. Wars, betrayals, or fate itself. But he mastered his reactions, his choices, his inner life, and that's what made him unshakable. If an emperor couldn't control others, why do you think you can control her? Here's the paradox. When you stop trying to own her and instead own yourself, you become the man she doesn't want to lose because she feels freedom with you, not chains. She feels trust, not pressure. And trust is what makes love addictive. So I'll ask you in your story right now, are you wasting energy trying to control her? Or are you building the kind of man she never wants to leave? Because the man who masters himself doesn't need to hold her down. She chooses to stay. And that choice is worth more than any control you could ever have. Conclusion. So, let's tie this all together. If you want her to be addicted to you, it's not about tricks, money, or chasing her attention. It's about embodying timeless Stoic wisdom. Be the calm in her storm, and she'll lean on you when the world shakes her. Speak less but mean more, and she'll hang on to every word. Live by purpose, not pleasure, and she'll feel your mission pulling her closer. Respect her soul, not just her body, and she'll give you a depth of love others can't reach. And finally, master yourself instead of trying to control her, and she'll never want to lose you. These 5 things are not just steps, they are a way of life. They make you not only attractive to women, but magnetic to life itself. Now let me ask you, are you ready to put these principles into action? Because listening to them is one thing, but living them will change everything. If you truly want to build a love life rooted in strength, wisdom, and unshakable connection, then these 5 Stoic principles aren't optional. They're essential. So if you found value in this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the Stoic Tide, and don't just watch this video and move on. Rewatch it. Take notes and start practicing these teachings today, because the sooner you do, the sooner you'll notice how women respond to you differently. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these 5 principles you're going to start applying first. Thank you for watching.